Okay, so today we're going to earlier we discussed what kind of rooms and houses are obligated mezuzah. Now we're going to discuss the actual doorpost. So the Shulchan Aruch tells us that that in order for a door to become obligated mezuzah, it has to have two doorposts and a mashkov and lintel on top. Now, question is, what exactly constitutes a doorpost? So any width, there's no shiur, there's no minimum size requirement for what constitutes a mezuzah. The same goes for the mashkov, which is the lintel on top. It doesn't have to be any width, any size counts. There's a question. So often you'll have this. Let's say there's no specific extra doorpost. But imagine, let's say we were to look at that wall, and the wall were simply to end, right? So if the wall were to simply end, is that considered? Do we view that the two sides of the wall to be a mezuzah, or do we say no? That's just simply the end of the wall, but does not constitute a mashkov to be obligated mezuzah. So there's an argument in the Rishonim whether or not it's obligated, and the halacha is the common theme. Whenever we have an argument, we put it on without a beracha.
So is that the same for an archway? I mean, an archway doesn't have a doorpost.
So we're gonna have an archway. Okay, so an archway we're gonna discuss in the next halacha, but it's got to be, well, we'll see in a minute, but it's got to be minimum 10 tefachim. It's got to be 10 tefachim high. Okay, so and I should add that's this that we were talking about, the end of the kosel. That's only when, like over here, where the ceiling kind of lowers into the door, right? So it kind of gives more of a surah as a pesach. It has the surah. It appears like a doorway. But let's say we're to go simply all the way to the top, right? So what about then? So that too is there also is a discussion over there. Okay, and then another interesting one is, let's say
there's no mashkov, is what you're saying.
What?
There's no mashkov, is that what you're describing?
Right. There's no mashkov in there. The question is, could we count maybe the top as the mashkov?
The ceiling.
Well, if there's a ceiling, yeah. Right. If it's totally open, you're right. I'm saying it could be, meaning if it's totally open from top to bottom, then there's nothing to talk about, right? Okay. But let's say that side post were to go all the way to the top without the actual doorpost. It would just be the bricks were to go straight up, so we cut all the way to the top. So technically, you have something on top.
That's the archway.
No, I don't understand what you're saying, Rabbi. If I'm walking, I have two doorposts on the side, or there are the doorposts on that doorpost. The ceiling inside and the ceiling outside, are they the same height? Is anything blocking? If I'm looking only at the ceiling, will I know where I'm going through?
I'm not following what you're saying. Go on, explain.
You go into some house, now here you don't see it, but in houses oftentimes, particularly from main rooms, it goes one main room to another room with no ceiling break. The ceiling goes straight across. It's the same piece of drywall.
Right.
There is no mashkov. Is that what you're describing?
I'm not sure. Let's look in this case, right? Imagine it were to be open, imagine it were to be an open wall. I'm sorry, let's say it's a
little more complicated because the room outside happens to be taller than the room inside.
But you have a
So it's a little more complicated. But if you saw no bricks over your doorway, you just went straight up to the ceiling.
If it went
so there's no mashkov.
Right, that for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I'm talking about, let's say in this case there would be no doorpost, but it goes all the way to wherever it stops over here. Understand?
Is there a mashkov or is there no mashkov?
So that's the question. Do we view that as a mashkov?
Your question is, do you view the ceiling
Yes,
as a mashkov?
exactly. Do we view the ceiling as a lintel? Let's say the walls go all the way up to the top. Do we view that as a lintel?
Do you view the ceiling as a mashkov?
Right.
In other words, the same piece of drywall going in and out.
That's the ceiling.
There is no mashkov.
Okay, we'll take it outside.
Okay.
And finally, one last case is, let's say you only have it on the right side, right? Let's say you have a mashkov only on the right side.
A mezuzah.
A mezuzah, yes, I'm sorry, thank you. If you only have a doorpost on the right side, meaning the side that you would potentially put on, and the other side is just the end of the wall, so the shach, I believe, says to put it on without a beracha. The shach says to put it on. I believe the minhag is to do without a beracha. So again, so the right side going in, but if it was on the left side, right, let's say the mezuzah, the doorpost is on the left side, so then the side since the mezuzah is on the left side and the other side is only the end of the wall, then there would be no beracha.
Yeah, but would you do where you would put the mezuzah?
In that case, there would be. Yeah. In that case, because it's not obligated, because it's got to have. Okay.